And welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This is going to be a late Sunday afternoon review video of Celtic's comfortable, confidence-building, morale-building 2-0 away win at Aberdeen. Celtic pretty much in control from first whistle to last whistle, apart from a wee bit of a shaky start. Once Celtic got going, they were miles the better team and could well have added another goal or two once they're fully match sharp. In today's video, we're going to have a wee look at the key incidents, the goals, a few good chances for Celtic, the stats, my own player ratings, and as we go through one or two wee thoughts regarding the team, how they're doing, and how things are shaping up for the next game against Falkirk, and then that vital double header against either Bratislava or Kairat Almaty, with the Livingston match in between, and then finishing off the month against our big rivals, Rangers at Ibrox. But because we've won 2 out of 2 and they've drawn 2 out of 2, we're now 4 points ahead of them already. And after Hearts' dramatic late winner, we're top equal with Hearts, level on goal difference, but having scored a couple goals less. As I was saying, Celtic off to a slightly shaky start. Aberdeen were really very aggressive, a lot of pushing and shoving and tripping, and certainly Aberdeen were cutting down space, trying to hassle and harry Celtic in the middle zone and the attacking zone, whilst giving players like Scales and Carter Vickers lots of time on the ball. But not giving them much space to run into. And certainly for the first half hour or so, Celtic's players weren't really making a lot of runs. And when they did make runs, they tended to be a little bit confused, disorganised, and Aberdeen snuffed things out. And indeed, the first big chance of the game was around about the 7th minute. Kasper Schmeichel made a very, very good save, diving to his left. Whether the VAR referee would have brought it back for a pretty obvious handball by one of the Aberdeen players in the lead-up, I'm not sure. However, John Beaton, who was very close to the action, played on, and Aberdeen broke up the other end, and Kasper Schmeichel needed to make his one and only real save of the game. After that, little by little, Celtic did get into the game more. Nice corner from Nygren. Adam Ida got a good head flick header onto it, but the ball got cleared by Aberdeen. A bit of toing and froing in midfield. Aberdeen pretty much cutting down space and cutting down time for Celtic. However, lovely move down the left-hand side. Kieran Tierney beating the Aberdeen wide player, getting half a yard of space. Lovely cross to the front post. Great run by Benjamin Nygren and a very smart left-footed half volley, giving Mitov not much chance in the goal. And a bit more huffing and puffing from Celtic, but no real clear-cut chances. Took us into half-time with Celtic 1-0 up. No changes made by Celtic half-time. However, it did look like there was a wee bit more interchange between Forrest, Johnson and Nygren down that right-hand side, and on a couple of occasions Nygren and Forrest swapped positions and Nygren went more out wide. And indeed, early in the second half, Celtic a wee bit more attacking intent. Nice move down the right-hand side. Lovely ball in by James Forrest, and Dyson might have made a good run breaking into the box. His shot was rather central, but it was very well saved by Mitov, although I do think had it been 5 yards to the left or 5 yards to the right, I don't think Mitov would have had a chance to save it. Celtic kept up the pressure. Aberdeen very rarely looking like they were ever going to threaten the goal. And Kasper Schmeichel in the rest of the game in the second half only really made one very, very simple save. And indeed, nice interchange between Johnson, Forrest and Nygren down the right-hand side. Nygren overlapping into the right winger position. Then great square ball back into Hatate, making a good run from midfield. Took the ball under control and a wonderful curving right-footed shot into the junction between the bar and the post, high above Mitov's left, and the ball bounced down into the goal. Celtic taking a well-deserved 2-0 lead. Celtic had a couple of more wee half chances. McGregor flashing the ball over the bar, and late in the game, after Shin Yamada had come on for Adam Ida, Yamada had a good run in off the left with him and Maeda swapping positions. However, Yamada's shot was rather weak, and also late in the game, Yamada didn't quite time his run in from a free kick and was just very slightly offside, although his header did actually go over the bar. And in the end, nice, comfortable 2-0 win for Celtic. Doesn't appear any players have picked up new injuries. Apparently, Kieran Tierney was ill at half-time, being sick in the dressing rooms, but managed to go back onto the pitch and play 20-odd minutes before being taken off for Austin Trusty, with Liam Scales going to left-back. However, it does not appear there's any new injuries for any of Celtic's players, and Rodgers did not think that the illness for Kieran Tierney was significant. Looking at the stats for the game against Aberdeen, Celtic's possession was 71-29, shots 13-6, with 4 on targets for Celtic, 2 on targets for Aberdeen. Celtic had 8 off targets and 1 blocked. Aberdeen had 1 off target and 3 blocked. Kasper Schmeichel made 2 saves, and Mitov in the Aberdeen goal made 2 saves as well. Touches in the box 23-11 for Celtic, and corners 6-1 for Celtic, and so pretty much shows all around Celtic were the better team, more chances, more shots on goal, much more pressure, and much more play in Aberdeen's box. And Celtic took 2 of their 4 shots on goal to score, and were that bit more efficient all around than Aberdeen on the day. Now, moving on to my own personal ratings for the players, given Kasper Schmeichel a 7. I think his very good save in the 7th minute was quite a key to Celtic winning the game, kept Celtic on an even keel and even in the game, stopped Aberdeen getting off to a good start, and as always, Schmeichel's distribution was very good, and he led by example from the back. I've given Ansel Johnson 7.5, defended very well. Aberdeen very rarely ever threatened down his left-hand side, coped very well with several fast runs and pacey runs by one of the Aberdeen players, defended well, blocked well, got forward, a couple of nice crosses and passes, and a good all-around game from Ansel Johnson, 7.5 for him. Given 7 to Carter Vickers, looked confident and sure in defence, good anticipation, broke to the ball well, passed the ball well, cleared the ball well, good all-around performance from Carter Vickers. Given Liam Scales a 6, a wee bit disappointed today in Scales, a few misplaced passes, a wee bit dithering on the ball. Several times Celtic had an obvious overlap on one side, but Scales delayed the pass far too long and the chance was disappeared. He did show 1 or 2 wee better contributions down the left-hand side when he swapped to left-back. The better covering pace of Austin Trusty seemed to allow Scales to get forward, and he did have 1 or 2 better passes and crosses when he was playing in the left-back position, and didn't really have to worry about defending against Shaden Morris because Trusty's pace counteracted that. Given Kieran Tierney a 7, I thought he looked nice and active. He and Maeda are developing a wee bit of an understanding down that left-hand side, still early days. And of course, Kieran Tierney was key to setting up that first goal. Nice run down the left-hand side, crossing the ball into the box for Nygren, putting Celtic 1-0 up at that time. And Tierney, much better defender than Greg Taylor, and can equally get forward in a different way compared to Greg Taylor. And I was very encouraged with his performance. Managed around 66 minutes this time. May well have managed that wee bit longer had he not been ill at half time. In terms of the midfielders, 7.5 for Callum McGregor. I thought it was a better performance by him, controlled the game much better. Lots of nice touches in midfield, tracked back on a regular basis to break up Aberdeen's counter-attacks. A few nice passes, a couple of shots over the bar. Better all-round performance by Celtic's captain. I've given 7 to Rio Hatate. A wee bit of a slow start to the game. More and more he got into the game. Of course, scored a brilliant goal, and given man of the match, an 8 to Benjamin Nygren. Very encouraging to see how well he played. He was involved in nearly everything Celtic did well. Scored a goal and set up the second goal. And it looks like he and Johnson and Forrest are making a good understanding and partnership down that right-hand side. And I think he and Hatate and McGregor all worked out a wee bit better this time as to whose role was to do what in midfield. It looked a lot more cohesive than the St Mirren game. I've given 7 to James Forrest, nice and busy and active down the right-hand side. Did seem to tire a wee bit late in the game and was understandably taken off. A few nice runs, a few nice passes, and I say some nice interaction and swapping positions with Nygren. Given 5.5 to Adam Ida, a wee bit disappointing. I think he had one half chance in the whole game. Did track back into midfield a few times to win the ball and hold the ball up, but several times his concentration and his control let him down. And I think Celtic did look a wee bit more dangerous once Yamada came on for him. 6.5 from Dice Maida, a wee bit better than the St Mirren match, but still looks just a wee bit off the pace, not quite back to his good form of last season. Did have one shot well saved by Mitov, and another time was allowed through one-on-one with the goalkeeper from a brilliant pass by Nygren, but unfortunately Maida tripped over himself and the chance was snuffed out on the edge of the box. In terms of the subs, none of them really lit things up coming on. Austin Trusty I've given a 6.5 to. Thought he did pretty fine. I like his distribution. I like the fact he's a lot more active and dynamic than Scales. Makes himself available much better than Scales. Seems to make a lot more of an effort to get the ball forward rather than back and forward and back to Schmeichel. And I think Trusty does have so much more pace tracking back to help with defending. And I think he and Carter Vickers look a much better partnership than Scales and Carter Vickers do at this time. Given 6 to Engels, McCowan and Yamada. They all had one or two wee nice touches. Yamada, I think, showing promise, a few nice runs. Did get a slightly weak shot coming in and off the left wing and did have that header over the bar, even though he was offside. And it'd be interesting to see whether Yamada gets the start in Friday's game against Falkirk or whether we go with Ida again. Didn't give Anthony Ralston a rating because in essence he came on for 4 or 5 minutes at the end, replacing Alistair Johnson, and he really didn't have anything to do. A couple of times he passed the ball up, a couple of times received passes from Carter Vickers or Schmeichel and kept the move going, but didn't really have anything to do in the game. Post-match interviews, nice and positive from James Forrest and Benjamin Nygren, nice and positive from Brendan Rodgers. He's very positive about the players, positive about the performances, encouraging words about Shin Yamada, encouraging words about Adam Ida, and reassuring words regarding McGregor and Hatate, and a special praise was given to Benjamin Nygren for his goal and assist. As is not unusual on a Sunday, not much other news coming out of Celtic. Hopefully, as we go through the first half of the week, we might start to see a few transfer rumours heating up. We'll also find out middle of the week who our opponent's going to be the following week in the final playoff round. And on Thursday, we will have our second live stream around about 9 o'clock in the evening, and Friday we've then got the game against Falkirk, which will be live on TV in the next round of the Scottish League Cup. So as we finish, and as we always do, just a wee polite suggestion, encouragement. If you are new to the channel, please do click that subscribe button, keep the numbers pushing up through the 1300s, and do pop your own thoughts, your ratings, your own thoughts about the players and the game in against Aberdeen, and any other Celtic thoughts at the moment into the comment section for a nice wee chat and debate. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.